Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eric Collier. Glad to have you back for another Momentum Shifting Wednesday, and of course, I'm glad to have you back with me as well. Now, I'd like to kick off this session with a story that I call "Jumping the Creek." I remember when my brother and I would take off and head to school. We'd pick up three friends, so the five of us would start on our journey. Now, the funny thing is, of course, we had two routes. The easy route, the one that everybody was taking, and then you had our route, what we would call let's go the creek route. And we would take the creek route every day, and the creek route gave us so many different challenges, and it was exciting to us. And so we had fun, and that was the route we liked to go. What were the challenges? Well, the challenge was first getting to the creek. We had to go through other people's yards, so that meant we'd get yelled at. We could possibly get chased either by the homeowner or by the dog. Then we'd get to the creek, and some of the challenges the creek presented was it had crawfish or crawdads, and we'd chase the crawdad or catch crawdads before or after school, which meant we'd probably be late getting to school or we'd probably be late getting home. The other challenge was, of course, you had to jump the creek to keep going on that route. So there were days you get to the creek and it was at normal levels, really not much of an effort. Nobody really had much to think about as far as whether or not to jump. So jumping, piece of cake. Then there were days where it would get a little bit higher and you had to put a little bit more effort. Still, mostly everybody would jump, no problem. Sometimes you would maybe be a little complacent and misstep, and you fail that jump. And you should know you should have made it. But you come back and you dust yourself off and try it again another day. And when you come back to the creek, and that creek, you see that the creek rose to a level that it is maxed out its height, and at that point it's widened out into the grass. That's when you knew the fun was going to begin, because it was going to take a lot more effort. On top of that, as soon as you come off the hill, you could see it and hear it in everybody's faces and voices that they were trying to decide whether or not they were going to jump that day. Now, you don't have to ask me, because I'm pretty much a daredevil. I've been that way since I was a kid. I was 5 years old. I had a little bike I called the Eagle Knievel bike. So I've always been a little bit of a daredevil, right? So me jumping, you knew I was going to jump. The question was whether or not I was going to make it. But I would always give it a shot, because I felt like I had something to prove to my group, and I had something to prove to myself. And when I didn't make it, oh well, it just wasn't my day. But I would always come back and try it again. But when I did make it, it was that sense of accomplishment, right? Because it wasn't like I was some thin, in-shape kid because I was a little heavier than everybody else, right? It wasn't that I was the fastest kid because I was a little slower than everybody else. It was just at that moment, that point in time, I did everything right. I hit that jump just right, and I made it to the other side. And so at that point, I could poke my chest out because there was that sense of accomplishment, right? My confidence had boosted up. My ego had poked out a little bit, right? And I could talk trash to everybody else. I could sit there and wait to see if anybody was going to fall in the water so I could really laugh and talk trash, because then it would be my turn, right? But most importantly, I would go to school dry, and I could tell everybody I made that jump. What I'm getting at, ladies and gentlemen, is we all have a level of comfort somewhere. We put a limit and a boundary on our potential at some point in time, and we stop taking risks. But what you realize is you're not taking the risk, you're not growing. Because it's when you take that risk, it's when you step out of your comfort zone, right? Risk meaning you step into uncertainty. That's when you grow the most. That's when your personal development really happens. And you find out what it is you can actually accomplish and who you can be. So these obstacles, challenges, and hurdles that you face on a daily basis that come your way unexpectedly, well, those are your tests. Those are your opportunities to take the risk to battle on and find out what you can be, right? And what you can become. So you get comfortable in that comfort zone. That's what it's called, comfort, right? You get content, you get satisfied with everything that's going on. And really, in that comfort zone, you've already accomplished everything there. So you're capable of doing those things, you know that. Your potential lies outside of that comfort zone, right? And you won't discover it until you take on new challenges to grow. By sitting there in that comfort zone, you're not growing, you're stagnant. When you get stagnant, you're not happy. You're not happy, everybody around you is not happy. And also, you bring in some medical conditions that you probably don't want, right? Anxiety, depression, alcoholism, drug abuse. You don't want those things. So you're better off challenging yourself, becoming the person that you were put on this earth to be, because you weren't put here to fail. You were put here to succeed. You're designed that way. You're supposed to be moving forward in life, not moving backwards or standing still. So my challenge to you is to identify whatever it is that you've been putting a limit on, right? Anything that you've been pushing real close to your limit and then backing away from, I want you to take on that challenge, and then I want you to just break through those boundaries that you set. Find out exactly what it is you can accomplish in life. Because again, if you're not growing, you're stagnant. If you're stagnant, you're not happy. And it causes all these other issues that you don't want in your life. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. There's a freedom on the other side of risk that you'll never experience if you keep those boundaries up. Break through those boundaries, you'll experience that freedom, that happiness, that confidence, that courage that you're looking for. You'll find it. Until next week, I want you to take a deep breath, step back, and then rock and fire.